What's up, guys? Back again with another hitting strip video, this time on the Carl's Divot Action hitting strip from Carl's Place. If you are not familiar with Carl's Place, they are probably most well known for their golf simulator enclosures and screens, like the one I have here in my garage. This is the Carl's 8x10.5 DIY enclosure kit with the premium screen. Very happy with it, and if you're interested in that, I will put a link down below in the video description for that stuff. But they also do a lot of other simulator stuff, including hitting mats and strips. And what I've got today is the Carl's Divot Action hitting strip. So if it looks familiar, this is very similar to the Gung Ho Golf Holy Grail hitting strip, which I just did a video on, and we will basically start with the construction of this thing, which is pretty identical to the Holy Grail. It is 3 layers, starting on the top with a putting turf, then this black sheet here again is what I'm assuming is a polycarbonate. And then you've got on both ends, front and back, you've got a more of a solid foam that just keeps the front and back solid. They've already pre-attached Velcro to both ends so that you can stick it down. And then down the middle, 3 strips of foam, which are going to be the cushion and absorb your golf swing. Now, big difference between the Holy Grail and the Carl's Divot Action is that Carl's offers 2 different versions of this foam right here. And they call it, one is a beginner, one is advanced. I have in my hands the advanced version, and the difference is that the advanced is going to be a firmer foam. The beginner is going to be much more squishy and soft. So, not a good way to show you, but I'll just show you this foam close up. If I just press on it with my finger, light pressure, that's about as far as I can go, just holding it like that without, really digging into it. And the Holy Grail, for comparison, which I have right here, is much more squishy. So if you can see, that's about the same pressure. I'm almost pushing it all the way down. So the Carl's Advanced is definitely much firmer than the Holy Grail. My guess is that the beginner version is going to be either the exact same foam as the Holy Grail or something closer to it. I did not order the beginner version because I was kind of only curious in the advanced, and I'm glad that I did. So how does it feel? So with the advanced version being much firmer, I think that personally I preferred that. Hitting it, I didn't have anything that I felt was going to cause any injury or pain. The foam there, I feel like, is plenty to absorb the impact from your golf swing. But it's not as squishy as the Holy Grail, which, if you saw that video, kind of my comments were that it was a little bit soft, a little bit too soft, a little bit bouncy, and it even wobbled just from grounding the club on maybe the sides. This advanced version with the Carl's hitting strip, I got no wobble. So it makes a pretty solid surface, no matter where you're hitting on it, whether it's closer to you, closer to the outside, closer to the inside, there's no wobble there. So for me personally, I prefer this because it has the advanced version, which I like. Now, as far as like injury prevention, pain, I'm not worried about that because Basically, in my opinion, there's kind of two ways that you can cause some pain in that lead arm, whether that's tendonitis or anything else. But one is that if the turf is kind of too grabby, the club head can kind of get caught up in that turf just a little bit more and cause you to kind of pull on your wrist or your elbow. The other way that a mat can cause pain is if there really is no cushion and it's too hard. Basically, if like you're just hitting, on concrete, there's no cushion. In my opinion, it's got foam there, it's firmer foam, and the putting turf on top is obviously, the fibers are not long enough to grab on anything. So I think you're covered on this, at least in my personal opinion. I did not feel either of those things, either too much grabbing or too much impact with this. So I preferred the advanced version. So how does it fit within your simulator space, whether you're building it out now or you've already kind of got it in place? The Carl's Divot Action only comes in one size, and that is 12 inch by 30 inch. The height is about 1.75 inches, 1 3/4, and that is it. The Holy Grail, I believe, has 3 different sizes, and one includes the Fiberbuilt replacement size, which is the size of the Holy Grail I have here. I think it's 12 by 46.5, and it is made to drop in perfectly in a Fiberbuilt mat, which is what I'm standing on. Unfortunately, Carl's doesn't have all those sizes. As you can see, I am using it as a drop-in for my Fiberbuilt grass mat, but I just pushed it all the way to the front, and I've got this big opening here. So not a perfect replacement, but as far as height, it is perfect on this. Now, obviously most people are not going to be using it as a Fiberbuilt replacement. So you probably have, most likely, some 1-inch subflooring, which what I've got here is 1-inch foam tiles from Amazon that are puzzle fit together. And this can work well if you want to cut a hole into that for your hitting strip. It lines up not perfectly flush, but a little bit higher than 1 inch with putting turf on top, which is usually 3/8 of an inch. So it's about the hitting strip itself is about 1 3/4. 1 inch material with 3/8 inch turf on top. You're pretty close, and that's a similar size to the Holy Grail as well. I thought the Holy Grail was maybe slightly shorter, but it's hard to measure. Now, what if you don't have a flooring that you want to cut into? You just want a mat? Well, the Carl's Divot Action does have an option from Carl's Place, and that is the HotShot hitting mat. So that is a hitting mat that already has a pre-cut 12 by 30 insert in there. What you have to do is you have to buy the hitting mat and the Divot Action strip. It's not sold as a set. You buy both things, but they are made to go together. And they come in 3 different sizes that are single hitting or center hitting, so that hitting strip goes in the center, and a righty can stand on one side, a lefty can stand on the other side. Just depends on what you want. So their HotShot hitting mat is a good solution if you just want a full mat. Now, as far as pricing, the Carl's Divot Action is priced currently at $134.95. The Gung Ho Holy Grail with the same exact size, 12 by 30, is $149.99. So Carl's is going to be a little bit cheaper on that. If you're looking for the full mat, the HotShot mat from Carl's, like I said, 3 different sizes, and those range from $535 to $680. So you're going to add the price, the $134.95, to that mat price, and that'll be your total. If you look at Gung Ho Golf's Holy Grail, they do offer some full mats as well that work just the same. Hitting insert already cut into it. And when you total everything up, you know, they're pretty similar depending on the size that you're looking for. So Carl's hitting strip, you may save a little bit. Full mat, you know, could go either way. Just depends. Pretty closely priced. So to wrap up, I guess I would say that as far as construction and quality, I think that they are almost identical, you know, between the two of them. The big difference is the beginner and the advanced version from Carl's. So if you're worried about it being too forgiving, you know, too wobbly, all those things, I would go with the advanced from Carl's. But that's me personally. That's pretty much it, guys. I've got more hitting strip videos coming out, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, check the links below. If you make a purchase with one of those, I'll make a small commission at no cost to you, and it really makes these videos worthwhile for me to do. See you next time.